Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, Sarasota's National Cemetery is looking to continue an annual tradition. The cemetery wants to collect enough money to place wreaths on 12,000 graves. But right now, they're only halfway towards meeting that financial goal. And staff and volunteers are afraid they won't raise enough money by Friday to buy those wreaths. As of this morning, the group Family and Friends of Sarasota National Cemetery and multiple other organizations raised enough money for 6,600 grave sites. The coordination for that local chapter of Wreaths Across America is the widow of a veteran and wants to honor all men and women who have served.
We're proud of our country, and we're proud of the rights we have as citizens here. And the men and women that have fought to protect those rights, many of them are lying at rest here and at other national cemeteries.
The wreaths will be placed on the grave sites on Saturday, December 16th after a special ceremony. Volunteers are still hoping to raise enough money to buy the remainder of those wreaths. $15 sponsors one, and $30 will sponsor 3 different graves. You can find the link to donate on our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, millions of Americans, are returning home after a long Thanksgiving holiday. This day, traditionally one of the busiest for travel. But if you looked at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, you wouldn't know it. For the local airport, it was business as usual throughout the day and night. While elsewhere, that wasn't necessarily the case. Take a look at this. The skies absolutely packed. The biggest headache, San Francisco, wind and fog delaying some of those flights by more than 3 hours.
I got a text from the airline and just that it'll be delayed by about an hour and a half.
As for traffic, it was just as bad. Major gridlock heading into New York City, while cars in Los Angeles were at a standstill as well. And tomorrow isn't expected to be much better. Travel officials advising people to avoid driving between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. In some of those more populous areas. Well, shoppers hunting for Black Friday deals seem to include a record number looking to buy a firearm. The FBI announcing that it fielded over 200,000 background check requests for gun purchases on the day after Thanksgiving. That is the highest daily total ever, according to USA Today. And the holiday shopping season is now just kicking up, but not everyone is a fan of fighting crowds for those best deals. If that describes you, well, you're going to love Cyber Monday. Here's David Daniel with the trend that experts have their eye on.
If you're not into the push and shove of Black Friday sales, well, you're in luck. Cyber Monday begins this evening, where you'll get a second shot at all the big holiday deals. On top of that, you never have to leave home during this busiest online shopping day of the year. RetailMeNot.com's trends expert says the 2 sales holidays are turning into one.
Nowadays, what we're seeing is Black Friday and Cyber Monday being merged. So instead of Black Friday being its own holiday and Cyber Monday being its own holiday, we're starting to see it being called Cyber Week, or the 5 days of savings.
Some of the largest online retailers, such as Amazon, Walmart, and Jet.com, will be rolling out new deals and big savings on electronics and toys for Cyber Monday. You can even get a jumpstart shopping with Amazon Sunday evening if you use Amazon's Alexa voice assistant. Also, don't worry if you work Monday and can't surf the web for the best online deals.
Cyber Monday is not just on the Monday after Thanksgiving. You're going to start to see deals on Sunday, for instance, and even after Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even as late as Thursday and Friday.
I'm David Daniel reporting.
And while you can stay inside and shop, some of you may not want to. Tomorrow, let's head over to Steve Newman for a check at our first alert weather forecast. Steve?
As we plow into the holiday season, the weather is really nice. Typically, this time of year along the Sun Coast, the weather's picture perfect. That's why everyone comes here to spend their holidays and to spend the winter here as well. We do have some clouds over us today that kind of dim the sunshine, but it was not bad after all. It's part of a disturbance out in the Gulf of Mexico, a trough of low pressure that actually developed a central circulation, a little low formed out there, produced some storms that sent some cirrus clouds, high clouds, and middle clouds streaming into the Sun Coast. Some of them overnight last night and early this morning produced drizzle right along the coast, but it was still not a bad day at all. And our High-definition futurecast that takes us through the night shows that we could have, other than those high clouds coming in, some fog settling in inland areas, mainly to the north of us, but there's a chance in the area we could see some fog, but it will clear back very quickly when the sun comes out to another sunny and mild day. Temperatures cooling off to around 55, so we'll drop about 3 or 4 degrees from last night's low, but warm up very quickly into the sunshine tomorrow. Our forecast for the week ahead, all of it in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Steve. Well, an event on the Sun Coast over the weekend sparking some heavy criticism now on social media. That event, titled Sarasota, Florida's 3rd annual Snow Crab Festival, is now being called a major disappointment and not the festival that everyone expected. Over 42,000 people said they were interested in attending that event at Whitaker Gateway Park Saturday. That's according to Facebook. And over 4,100 are listed on Facebook as attending. Here were some of those complaints afterwards. Rodney writing, "No, no, no, what a huge disappointment. No signs, slow service, and nothing thought out on this. I was not the only one leaving without eating. I thought I was at a family picnic. Stop posting events on Facebook that are not truly a festival. Call it neighborhood cookout." Carissa posting, "This was an absolute joke. We drove an hour and a half, and so did my dad, to see chaos and a couple of people under a pavilion cooking on a burner." Barbara commenting, "Why don't you, the organizers, just apologize for the false advertising, the lack of a festival atmosphere, the waste of people's time and gas, and move on? You have lost the trust of people who came out to support this event." And if you'd like to join the conversation, leaving your own comments, you can do so right now on our Facebook page, mysuncoast.com/ABC7. And remember, for updates on local breaking news, you can download the latest updated version of our news app. If you're an Android user and have it, that update will come automatically. But iPhone users need to go to the App Store and re-download it. Just search for WWSB or My Sun Coast. Well, it was a busy day for the U.S. Coast Guard. Emergency responders conducting 3 separate rescues off of Florida's coast. The Coast Guard medevacing one woman from a commercial dive vessel near Lake Worth Inlet. That was after she received a laceration on the back of her knee. Then a 27-year-old man had to be airlifted from a 27-foot dive boat just west of Naples after the crew reported a diver was going in and out of consciousness and was in need of emergency assistance. Also, a 40-year-old man was flown off of his commercial dive vessel near Lake Worth Inlet after having difficulty breathing after resurfacing from a dive. A Florida man has been accused of killing another man with a weapon, a 3-foot sword. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office announcing that George Livingston is being held without bond on a second-degree murder charge. The victim, who has not been identified, was found covered in blood near the railroad tracks in Lake Worth on Saturday afternoon, along with a sword nearby. Detectives interviewed witnesses and quickly detained Livingston. Well, Congress will return to Washington on Monday with a full agenda of urgent legislative issues like tax reform and raising the debt ceilings. But as ABC's Richard Cantu shows us, much of the focus may well be on sexual harassment scandals involving both Democrats and Republicans.
President Trump is back in Washington and increasingly at odds with his own family and the Republican Party over embattled Republican nominee for Alabama's Senate seat, Roy Moore, who is accused of sexual misconduct with underage girls when he was in his 30s, charges that he denies. Sunday, Trump trying to boost Moore's campaign by urging Alabama voters to defeat Democrat Doug Jones, who is leading the latest polls. The president tweeting, "The last thing we need in Alabama and the U.S. Senate is a Schumer-Pelosi puppet who is weak on crime, weak on the border. Jones would be a disaster." The president's comments in sharp contrast to those of his daughter and advisor Ivanka Trump, who earlier told the Associated Press, "There's a special place in hell for people who prey on children. I've yet to see a valid explanation, and I have no reason to doubt the victim's account." At the same time, more than 20 Republican senators are calling for Moore to drop out of the race.
It is pretty clear to me that the best thing that Roy Moore could do for the country is to move on.
On the Democratic side, Minnesota Senator Al Franken broke his silence Sunday amid accusations by 4 women of improper touching, telling Minnesota station WCCO this.
I have a long way back. I have a long way back to win back the trust of the people of Minnesota.
Franken says he is not resigning and will fully cooperate with a Senate Ethics Committee investigation. And on the John Conyers Sunday stepped aside as the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee while Congress investigates allegations that he sexually harassed female staff members. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
Well, the Bradenton Riverwalk getting a little funky this afternoon with a blues brunch. The event at Madison City Grill featuring live music and acts as a preview to the Bradenton Blues Festival weekend that'll be kicking off this upcoming Friday and runs all next weekend on 3rd Avenue West near downtown Bradenton. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, 2 months after the deadliest U.S. shooting in modern history, survivors gather to share their experiences. Plus, a night of partying turns to panic as a nightclub floor collapses in Spain.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Welcome back. The deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas happened less than 2 months ago, but on Saturday in Nevada, about 100 survivors gathered for a Thanksgiving potluck. They ate turkey and talked about their experiences since that horrific event with other people who understood. Some said they were out in public for the first time since the shooting. Others still have not returned to work. One of the organizers said that even though the attention of the nation seems to have moved on to other things, survivors of that shooting are still working to process what happened.
When I started putting this together, it really sunk in that a lot of people have moved on and don't realize that we're still struggling, we're still healing, we're not there yet.
On October 1st, gunman Stephen Paddock opened fire on the Route 91 Harvest Festival from his nearby hotel room, killing 58 people and injuring about 500 more. Well, Spanish authorities say that 22 people were hurt in the island of Tenerife when the floor of a nightclub collapsed, sending the partiers plunging into the basement. Emergency services says that 2 of those hurt suffered serious injuries, including broken legs and ankles. A popular holiday destination for many European tourists. Authorities say the injured include 2 people from France, a Belgian woman, and a Romanian man. Well, from the racetrack right to your home, dozens of greyhounds who are now retired from racing were out and about today at Big Cat Habitat in Sarasota and up for adoption. People coming out to meet those dogs and hopefully find a new family member. The event comes as a partnership between Big Cat and the Racing Dog Retirement Project, which is a nonprofit that saves these dogs and places them into homes.
People don't know what greyhounds are like, and most people, because when you see greyhounds, you see them flying across the track, you assume they're these high-energy dogs, and we want people to know that they're really not a high-energy dog. They're a very easy dog to own. They just want a couch to sleep on, a little bit of exercise, and they're good to go. So it's good for people to come out here and meet them and see just how calm and easygoing they are.
Big Cat Habitat's founder says today's event is hopefully just the first of many, and that they are looking into bringing those dogs out to Sarasota about once every month. And yeah, I hear those myths are false about greyhounds. You know, they're no more energetic than maybe a Jack Russell like we had at home, and that guy would never shut up. So I mean,
and rescue animals are the best because they're so appreciative of what you've done to keep them at home.
They know.
Well, we have the holiday season coming up, and the weather's going to be pretty decent, at least for the next 10 days. And Adam, I got to tell you, the long-range model is saying about 10 days to 2 weeks, we could get a real cold shift in the east, including Florida.
I'm all right with it.
So enjoy the next 2 weeks. Well, right now, it was not as sunny today over the beaches as it was yesterday because of those high clouds streaming in from that trough out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. We had some sprinkles come in overnight and early this morning in southern parts of our viewing area. But other than that, it was dry. Sun did filter through and warm us up into the upper 70s in many spots, 76 in Orlando, low 70s for the highs in the Panhandle, and across our viewing area pretty much anywhere from 76, 77 to 80 degrees were the high temperature averages. Now, our current conditions at the airport, it is 63 degrees. It's very nice out right now. The humidity and the dew point 59, humidity 87%. And with that lowering dew point, we'll probably drop off to around 55 for a low, where this morning's low was 59. It's a little bit cooler, but the high temperature was right on the money for normal. Now, while they did get that drizzle and mist to the south of Sarasota, the airport got none, meaning we're over 1.3 inches below normal, but we had a really wet summer, so we're 14 inches above, but this being a La Nina year, we're probably not going to get a lot of rain over the winter and spring, meaning we'll probably go into a deficit by the time the rains return next June. We'll see. Well, there's that troublesome trough in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, sending in some clouds from these storms as they mature and send that high level of cloudiness into Florida. That's slowly going to fade as this trough pivots around and goes down into the Caribbean. There's a weak cool front just to the east of us, trying to bring in some drier air, but it's not going to have much effect on the Sun Coast. Well, we're past Thanksgiving into the holiday season. Let's take a look at snow cover. We have up around Watertown, just to the east in the snow belts there, 6 to 12 inches of snow on the ground. Around Syracuse, 1 to 3. They've had a lot of storms out west. You can see in the Canadian Rockies and the coastal range of BC and around Seattle, up to 18, maybe even 20 inches of snow in some areas. A little slow start to the Sierra Nevada around Lake Tahoe and Mammoth Lakes, but they're getting anywhere from 3 to 12 inches of snow on the ground, and more is on the way next weekend. If you're traveling across the country tomorrow after the holidays, high pressure from coast to coast until you get to Northern California. There's a front moving through, bringing them some rain tonight, but it'll slowly clear out tomorrow. Seattle, that's been just hammered with rain for over a week, will start to dry out in 2 days. Temperatures quite mild across the nation, 58 in Seattle in the rain, 65 with rain and showers in San Francisco. Dallas today was 73 for high, and a lot of people want to hear about New York City, 51. Right now at the weather headlines for the next week ahead, it's going to be a little cooler tonight because of that cool front bringing in the drier air, but then it's going to be sunny and warm every day this week. Really decent weather, but a weak front coming in on Friday, cooling things off for next weekend. Let's take a look at that in graphics. Here's that trough pivoting around in the futurecast, getting away from us. We have more of an easterly flow developing, which is a mild flow, partly cloudy skies. There could be some showers and thunderstorms in South Florida that will not reach us. Now let's move to the long-range futurecast. It takes us into next weekend. It has the handle on that down there. And let's look at that front coming all the way across the country, dragging in Pacific air. And as it does so all across the land, it dries it out. Won't have much of a punch by the time it gets here next Friday during the afternoon, so it'll just be a little bit drier and more pleasant conditions. And for next weekend, dropping temperatures off to the mid-70s. Here is your 7-day outlook as we look at the week ahead and into next weekend, showing Monday 76 for a high, warming up to the low 80s by Wednesday and Thursday, even Tuesday. And that front comes through, cooling us off for next weekend. I hope you like that forecast because in about 2 weeks it may change quite a bit. Adam?
Well, we'll be sure to enjoy it while we can. Thank you, Steve. Sports is up next. Stick around.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at NationalGuard.com.
Now, sports.
Florida Gators will be turning to a familiar face to try and recharge their sputtering football program. The team announcing on its website that Mississippi State's Dan Mullen will be the next head coach in Gainesville. Mullen returns to the program where he spent 4 seasons as offensive coordinator under Urban Meyer before taking his first head coaching job in Starkville. In 9 seasons, Mullen has become the second winningest coach in MSU history and the first to produce back-to-back 9-win seasons. He also worked with now Florida AD Scott Strickland for 7 years together in Mississippi. At Florida, he called plays for 2 national championship teams and Heisman winner Tim Tebow. Well, elsewhere in the SEC, Kevin Sumlin has been fired after 6 winning seasons with Texas A&M. The program's first black coach produced a Heisman Trophy winner in Johnny Manziel, but has gone 4-4 in the conference for the 4th time this season. Also, Arizona State head coach Todd Graham has been fired after 6 seasons today, despite beating rival Arizona and finishing the season with 2 more wins than last season. Graham has led the Sun Devils to 5 bowl game appearances. And the University of Tennessee will reportedly back out of a deal to hire Greg Schiano as their next head coach after news broke that the school was negotiating with the former Buccaneers head coach. The school received widespread backlash, including campus protests and complaints on social media from fans and even state representatives. Those complaints stemming from Schiano's background as an assistant at Penn State during Jerry Sandusky's tenure as defensive coordinator. Well, the Bucs and backup quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick coming up a little short on the road today against division rival Atlanta. Julio Jones caught this 51-yarder from fellow receiver Mohamed Sanu and finished with 253 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Ryan Fitzpatrick, however, was able to get Tampa Bay back within a touchdown early in the fourth quarter after being down 27-6. That run by Peyton Barber there. But with under 2 minutes to go, Tevin Coleman delivering the dagger for Atlanta. Bucs lose the game and some key players along the way. Doug Martin, TJ Ward, Clinton McDonald all exiting this game with injuries. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, finally tonight, a Thanksgiving miracle. A group in Virginia rescuing a bobcat that had been trapped in the grill of a car. Take a look at this little guy. The poor thing had to ride in the grill of a car for 50 miles over about an hour. The director of the Animal Control Rescue who saved him says that a woman driving to work on Thursday morning told them that she knew she hit something but never expected this. It wasn't until she parked in Richmond that she discovered the bobcat. Luckily, the animal made the trip with only tiny cuts on its back. Man, oh man, an hour trapped in the grill like that. Can you imagine? High speeds.
And quite a story to tell for both the animal and
there you
the
go.
humans that caught it.
Sure.
That's great news. We do have a great week coming up as we move in the holiday season, sunny and warm, but then things turn cool in about 2 weeks.
Well, it is that time of year, so I guess we can't be too mad, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, and in terms of cool, I think you got it good down here in Florida for sure.